Dawn Kendall in the house. Where are you coming in from, Dawn? Hope the weather is nice and not overly snowy. Dale, good evening. What's going on? Good to see you coming in from Indiana. Wisconsin in the house. Lori, hello. Just got YouTube up and running. And just like that, Kristen Suave, hello. Suave, Kristen West. What's going on? Koala? Doreen, hello. Life is in the house. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Yeah, running a little late. I was doing some last minute editing on a last minute video. And I had to get it out before the show. Tammy Elaine, hello. Jennifer, hello. Lori Jean, hello. Ernestine, how are you? Yeah, so I just pushed out a brand new video. Bills won. Dude, that was not. Why do they do it to me? Hey, Rich O'Brien. Hey, Jane. I'm doing great because, as Jones said, we got a Bills win, but it took Josh Allen strapping on a cape and a lot of heroics. 40-yard touchdown, which I think is the longest touchdown run from a quarterback in Bills history, and then another 15-yard run in order to get a first down to end the game. Good. Finally, the defense woke up a little bit and made some crucial stops. Got it done. How are you, Linda? How are you, Jim of all trades? What's going on, Kiwi? Buffalo's warm? Really? I saw snow on the ground during the game. It was a good game. I just want easy games. Like I liked last week's game, or at least the second half of last week. What's going on, Ladybug? Good to see you. Alfred, my GenX Goonie, keeper of all things Generation X. Ernestine starting us off on YouTube with $2. There we go. We're up to $2, and YouTube's, ooh, they're being cheap today. What's going on, Kevin? YouTube says they will match if we get to $98.46. Let's not do that. My OCD will be through the roof. Let's get to 100 if we're going to get close. At least your team's winning. Dude, what a weird week. What a weird season. What a weird year in the NFL. You got Kansas City struggling to try hope against hope to make the playoffs. Yeah, Jane, I was at Fan Expo in Dallas earlier this year, and I probably will be back to Dallas next year. I'll be close to Texas in February for the Batesville, Arkansas Big River Con, so I'll be there as well. That's the third week in February. Watching Kansas City now. Well, good luck to you. Tammy Elaine saying hello again. I see you. My parents crapped the bed against, my Ravens. Dude, that's what I was going to say. You've got KC struggling. Yeah, we're 9-4. We could just as easily be 50-50 at this point. So many games were so tight. You have Baltimore struggling. You've got the Lions having a rough time. Thank you, Ladybug. Appreciate the 2 cents and the $2. Gets us up to 6. We're on our way. What's going on, Robin? Anyway, so I was doing a video. And the video is around the products and companies we grew up with that are gone now. And I started making a little list. And I couldn't believe how long the list got. I was cutting things out by the end of the video because the video would have gone on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And some of these, I think, are even regional. So when you take into account where we all grew up, the list would probably be even longer. Ma Bell, Radio Shack, Service Merchandise, brand names, Woolworth, Zare, Ames, Jamesway, Montgomery War, Hills, Gold Circle, Caldor, Corvettes, Walden Books, B. Dalton Bookstore, Tower Records, Columbia House Record and Tape Clubs, Crazy Eddie's, the airlines, TWA, Eastern Airlines, People's Express. Do you guys remember People's Express? I make the joke that they expected us to basically fly the plane and store our own luggage because it was so cheap to fly. Somebody said Mother's Pizza, Tom McCann. Circuit City made my list. What's going on, Tawny? Ponderosa. I might have put Ponderosa. I definitely put in Bennigan's. I remember Fuddruckers, which I think still might be a thing. Ground Round. Pagers, payphones, cigarette machines. Slice, clearly Canadian Tab. Jolt Cola. Linda, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Linda covered 1.5 out of there. She got her $2 and another 1.5 people out of there. So thank you so much, Linda. Flash Cubes, VHS Rewinders, Blockbuster Video, Blockbuster Late Fees, KB Toys, Lionel Kitty City, Toys R Us, Discovery Zone, Showbiz Pizza, Movies Plus, Chi-Chi's, Howard Johnson, so many. Ames I had in there, that might be regional. Tamrex, how are you? Thank you for the congratulations and the Bills win. Lisa says I flew People's Express. I never got to fly it. It was supposed to be really cheap, though. I got 1 million followers and only 57 on the live. It's funny. I don't even look at the number because it doesn't make sense. Once you get off the live, you'll look back and you'll see that we had 6,000 or 7,000. By the time the week's out, it usually jumps to 10 or 15,000. Thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate the big 100. Thank you, Jenny. They're pretty, but they're also pretty useless. I can't see crap without contact lenses. First timer over on YouTube with Virginia. How are you? Sears. Yeah, it's so funny that we can add things like Sears to the list. I'm like not even really considering it gone. I tried to focus on stuff that disappeared like at the millennium so that it would really confuse Zoomers. What is the question everyone's asking? I was going through a list of things that have been gone for a while. I mean, you can add the USSR in East and West Germany to the list. Blue chip stamps, SNH green stamps, Photomats, Betamax, Laserdisc, VHS, 8-track, ColecoVision, Intellivision, Magnavox Odyssey, Tandy Computers, Commodore, not just 64, but VIC-20, dot matrix printers, Timex Sinclair 1000, the Apple IIe. It's just incredible. The list can go on, and I know it's normal. Orange Julius for things to come and go, but that's a lot. Hess, although the Hess truck I think still exists. I think you can still buy a Hess truck. Thank you so much, Draco. I've been having the time of my life. Bonanza? I know the show Bonanza. Was there like a store or restaurant Bonanza? I remember the restaurant Ponderosa. Maybe that's what you meant because there was the Ponderosa Ranch on Bonanza. D-Lynn adds her sanity or their sanity. Kmart, again, I wouldn't think is gone. It is. I get it. What's going on, Beavis? Aladdin Castle. Yes. And Time Out, too. So thank you so much for chiming in with the $5. That gets us up to 16. We're well on our way. Yeah, Aladdin, Time Out. Aladdin's Castle was never where I grew up. So our malls had a place called Time Out. But same idea. Ground Round is actually coming back. There's a couple of them now. Toys R Us is coming back. I mentioned Jolt is back. It's different. 0 sugar, 3 times the caffeine. Dude, this is like my new Adderall. The focus that this gives me is amazing. What's going on, Eric? Good to see you coming in from Chicagoland. Bonanza Steakhouse. It's like a Ponderosa. Okay, we didn't have McCurdy's. Dude, for those of you that grew up in Western New York, Bonton would have been the Buffalo example. But there was Bonton. There was Sibley's and McCurdy's in Rochester. McCurdy's got bought out by, I think, Kaufman's, which then got bought out by Macy's. Because when we grew up, there was one Macy's, right? Am I remembering correctly? I was telling my kids during the Macy's Day Parade today. The Macy's used to be really special. Dude, of course I watched the game today, Heath. Macy's was really special in that if you took a trip down to New York City, you hit Macy's. That's where Macy's was. Yeah, Holly, I remember B. Foreman. Now there's like every mall had a Macy's, but that's not what it was like when we were growing up. Circuit City, I definitely put on the list. You made it when people have to watch 3 commercials to get here. It was worth it. Did they really put commercials on in front of my YouTube? I'll have to check that, John. I apologize. Usually they'll allow me to do a side-by-side ad, which allows you guys to see that on the side because I figure why not monetize it. But that's crazy. Bruh, you're turning me gay. Well, dude, if I'm able to turn you gay, it wasn't a long road. No offense. It's all good. I'll take compliments at this age from anyone who's willing to throw them. But if this is getting you down that road, it was a short walk. Best Buy. Best Buy's still around. I just bought a TV this week. No commercials on Facebook. No, but Facebook does the ad revenue differently. They'll put it underneath somehow. Filene's Basement, I forgot about. I appreciate those of you that sit through the commercials though, because that's how my time. I mean, and your donations, without a doubt. I appreciate all you guys. That all helps. Sizzler's coming back. You know, I've never been to a Sizzler. If it comes back, I'll have to check it out. Marathon candy bars. How about when a $100,000 bar was called the $100,000 bar? Gold Circle, I put on my list. It is regional, I think, but it was definitely regional where I grew up. Gold Dome Bank is another one, although I put Chemical Bank from Rochester. I forgot about Gold Dome in Buffalo. That was a big one. Is the Geek Squad around? They came and put my TV up for me. I splurged and had them put it up. Toys R Us never left Canada. No, but you guys lost your targets, right? Did I have any two guys? Two guys made my list, Gary. Because we did. We had two guys. Two guys when I was growing up was one of the main department stores my parents shopped at. So I definitely remember two guys. And there was a place where we grew up called Nom Brothers. If there's any Western New Yorkers in chat, original 716 Rochesterians, they might remember Nom Brothers. Zehrs I had on the list. I put Zehrs on there for sure. Molson Golden is gone. Good call. Big Lots, love the shirt. You can always get these. There's a merch shop link. If you can order them until the 15th to get them in time for Christmas. A&W Restaurant, I don't remember that. How about the bike shops? Did you guys have, in my hometown, we had a, help me out. Darn it, what was the name of the bike shop? Somebody said A&W, and now I can't remember what I was going to say. Ames was on my list, although regional. Montgomery Ward was on the list. Blockbuster made the list for sure. Gadzooks, I'd forgotten about. Sbarro's Pizza is still around here. Burger Chef, somebody told me about, but I don't remember it. Brand name service merchandise, Marie, I put those on. Good to see you, hon. Woolworths made the list. Rasmussen. Now, I'm trying to think of a very specific bike shop. Cherie, next to Sears when we were growing up, what was the name of the bike shop we had? They sold bicycles there and they made repairs. Cherie Tyler, that's in the chat on Facebook, has known me since I was probably about 4 years old. She's been with me a very long time. We grew up in the same town together. It was across the street from the Bargain Center, next to, I think, Streeters. It was a bike store, and I cannot for the life of me remember the name. Schwinn Bikes, I had one. Do they still sell Schwinns? It was a nationwide chain. I don't remember. Musicland, Sam Goody, I'd forgotten about, but I put Tower Records in. Babbage's is a good one. Holiday Videos made it. Travin, $2 and cover a few others. Skaggs, Ben Franklin's, IGA Week, Western Auto. There it is, Travin. Dude, Travin and I are like lockstep. The one shop I was trying to remember was Western Auto. Empire Records open till midnight. Pick and Save. Dude, so many. Let me see if I've missed any. And then there were other things, like I said, payphones, cigarette machines are gone. Jukeboxes, it's been forever since I've seen a traditional jukebox. Yeah, Chuck was the guy's name. It was a Western Auto. Oh, Tracy remembering Gallows Department Store. And Levi's, I think, as far as jeans, they had a shop in the mall too way back when. The Shed, I think it was called. Sound Warehouse. Dart Drug. Food Lion we have here in Charlotte. What was your first car? A 1970 Camaro? Dude, Gary, you are lucky. Cigarette lighter and automobiles? Yeah, that's gone. Just as well I burned myself a million times on it. Rite Aid is gone? I think we have Rite Aid here in Charlotte. Could be wrong. Nichols Department Store, regional. Maybe, I don't remember it. Candy cigarettes are making a comeback. Well, thank God for small favors. Buster Brown shoes. The thing I remember about Buster Brown shoes, and maybe even Tom McCann, core memory for me, is I hated shopping as a kid with my mom. She made us try everything on and then bought everything 2 sizes too big. But going shoe shopping, I love that they measured our foot and treated us like little adults. I thought that was super cool. And then I loved that on the way out, at least where I was, they had a helium machine and they would give you like a balloon on the way out whenever you went shoe shopping. And it was both Tom McCann and Buster Brown that did it. So it was kind of like a shoe store thing. And I just remember like it was so cool walking around the mall and seeing all these kids with their little balloon. And then you knew they went shoe shopping. Kind of silly, maybe, but I always thought it was kind of cool. Payless shoes, are they gone? No more Sears. Yeah, they're just about done. Sears Wish Book's been gone since the 90s. I didn't realize that. Kangaroo shoes, Will, are still a thing and very expensive now. Now they've transitioned to actual like hardcore running shoes. Rite Aid went belly up, so did 99 cents only. Well, the 99 cents only I could see. Because, I mean, seriously, what are you going to buy for 99 cents? Plus, you need a penny back for change. And those are going away, too. Although, it'll take at least a generation or two for all the pennies in circulation to be gone. How are you, Angela? Coming in from Florida. Debbie confirms Payless is still around. Kimberly brings up Hastings Record Store. Janine with Liberty Shoes. BK Diamonds. I don't remember that. The $1,000 bill. Yeah. Once upon a time, there was a $1,000 bill. I'm not sure. I was in banking for years and I never saw one. So I don't know when that one exited stage left, but it's been a while. Too risky. So let's see, 15 minutes in, 31 over on YouTube, looking good, 107 participants. Dude, I appreciate it. Thank you. Facebook, we got up to 71. Make sure to share the live. Let's get some more friends in here, see what's what. Was there, yeah, $500 bill as well. Linda, again? Seriously, honey, that's more than good. We're at 36. Give it a minute. Everybody a little at a time. Doesn't take big. And if we don't get there, we don't get there. I just noticed that my lives always get pushed out when I talk about the things YouTube wants me to talk about. The fact that our phones hear us is kind of a real thing. Thank you, Ladybugs. Appreciate the gift. Friendly's ice cream. Dude, it's still around, and I loved Friendly's. Other restaurants, I lived at Perkins. I mentioned Wendy's is still around, but I love the Wendy's Super Bar. There was a minute in the 90s when Wendy's had not a salad bar, but this thing called a Super Bar. And you could, for $3, I think, and 99 cents, you could have an unlimited lunch at their Super Bar. And you could go and make yourself tacos. There was pasta there with like this meat sauce. I remember for dessert, there was like vanilla and chocolate pudding. Bennigan's and TGI Fridays. Yeah, Fridays is on the way out too. Kristen remembers, says, love the Super Bar. Will coming in with stars over on Facebook. Thank you so much. Yeah, I would go. So there was a Super Bar on Maple Road in Amherst, down the road from the University of Buffalo, where I went to college. And instead of going to the library to study in the afternoon, I would go to Wendy's. Because I would park my fat ass next to the Super Bar, open my books, and just go back and forth, basically doing my level best to get them out of business. I may literally be the reason that Super Bar went down and under. CompUSA, I forgot about. That's a good one. Randall remembers the Super Bar. Colleen coming in from Iowa. How are you? Is this heaven? No, it's Iowa. Favorite quote from one of my favorite movies? Had my first date with my wife at Fridays. I took more than 1 or 2 dates, I got to admit, to Fridays. Gateway Computers. Dude, you remember those commercials? What was it? Got to get a gateway? Is that what it was? Got to get a... It was that annoying blonde kid at any rate. I wonder what he's doing now. Remember him? He was like in every Gateway commercial for a while. Ernestine coming in and covering a couple people. $5. Thank you so much, Ernestine. Gotta get Adele. That's exactly what it was. Yeah, the gotta get Adele guy. Dude, wonder what he's doing. Imagine being on like every other commercial for like 3 years. Or even the Verizon Can You Hear Me Now guy. And then gone. Gone. Chi-Chi's is coming back. Dude, the joke I made about Chi-Chi's in my videos, they never ID'd anyone. I was like 18 years old, and if we couldn't get in anywhere else, we called it Margarita Night. Candy Computers made my list. Ever make the trek down to George and Company on Main Street? Of course I did. Absolutely. For Halloween, George and Company was the place to be. I got most of my Halloween costumes at George and Company. Hey, Tanya, good to see you. Hey, Gary. Deborah, how are you? Mike Bostwick, how are you doing? Yeah, Gateway used the cow patterns. I totally remember Gateway. But yeah, I got drunk at Chi Chi's on more than one occasion. They never ID'd anybody. Somebody said, wait, who was it? Worked at Chi Chi's and I can confirm. That's Jay, I think. Went by fast. Jay, yeah, dude, I never had any issues getting served at Chi Chi's. Colleen, thank you for the stars over on Facebook. Swiss Chalet. Dude, we've been going now for 20 minutes. 20 minutes nonstop. Just, we didn't even get into products really. We hit Tandy Computers a little bit, but for the most part, it's just stores we remembered. They don't market like that today. There's not this level of nostalgia and emotion from a generation that doesn't really do emotion. And yet we still have these nostalgic feelings for these stores we grew up. I don't think kids will have this appreciation. Duff's is still going strong. I'm happy to report, and growing by the day. Did I ever eat at the Cloister? No, that one doesn't sound familiar. What the heck is a speedy sandwich from the Buffalo area? Got me, Big Gary. I don't know what any of my current Buffalonians know. Spencer's Gift is still there. Yes, it's Iowa. Very cold here, and you're welcome. Yeah, I've never had a speedy sandwich in Buffalo. The things that I remember from Buffalo, I mean, I would do a beef on weck. That was roast beef on a heart attack roll filled with enough salt to just destroy you. We don't have Swiss Chalet anymore, Dean. We used to, as far as I can remember. I don't think we still have them. Chess King stores. I remember those. I remember Chess King. I remember Tops and Bottoms. Who still has their Merlin? Funny you should ask. Always ends up in a tie for tic-tac-toe. Always. Your host. Forgot about that one. Brand names. I didn't know that so I worked at a place called Dahlkemper's in Rochester, in Buffalo. There are two of them. One in Amherst, one in the McKinley Mall in Hamburg. And if you're a Western New Yorker, you'll recognize that. But it was kind of like a brand names. It was the same idea. We had these stores way back when. Marie Cherie has her Merlin that were like catalog stores. There was one of everything on display throughout the store. You would go to this major desk in the middle of the store and hand in a list of things. They would put up these tubes all the way back to the warehouse in the back, and then they would bring it to you and you got out. I always thought it was pretty cool. I remember AM&A's Ruth, best windows ever. Those stores we grew up with, are Christmas windows even a thing anymore? My memories as a kid, AM&A's, B. Dalton's, McCurdy's and Sibley's in Rochester. Just these absolute monster windows. Back before malls were a thing, there were these giant department stores. Mark says, hey, John, I watch your shorts and reminisce. Dude, that's the point. I really appreciate it. I'm glad it does what it's intended to do. Brandy Starzewski, how are you? I just really miss that. Yeah, not like that. Jim Frankel, my friend, good to see you, buddy. It was the best. These department stores with huge windows, and they put so much time into planning it. I mean, it even made its way into the movies, like the movie Mannequin was about that, about how important windows were. B. Dalton definitely made my list. Michael says he worked at the Hamburg Dahlkempers. I remember having to make the trip from Maple store over to your McKinley Mall store to pick up stuff on a regular basis. Very cool. Stephanie Lewis, better late than never. Always welcome. Glad to see you here, even late. Evil Knievel, I've got mine right there. The stunt cycle. Toys were just different. We know we talk about that all the time, but it's easy to be nostalgic about toys. It's crazy to be nostalgic about stores. Now, one of my greatest memories as a kid growing up If you'd ever been to Rochester in the early 70s, maybe all the way through the late 70s, the first mall in America, or at least one of, yeah, Kevin, the Cubs goat curse was broken, thankfully. One of the earliest malls, if not the earliest mall in the United States, was Midtown Mall in Rochester, New York. Definitely remember Pier 1 Imports. Good one. And inside there, every Christmas, they transformed that mall. It wasn't a little tiny section dedicated to Santa Claus. It wasn't like a Santa kiosk. If you'd ever been to Rochester, New York, or Google it in the 70s, Midtown Mall in the 70s around Christmas was magic. There's no other way to describe it. They put together a magic mountain in the middle of the mall. They had a monorail system that went around the perimeter of the mall, and us kids could take a ride on the monorail that went in through Magic Mountain. It was absolutely incredible. There's literally nothing out there today that I could take my kids to that would even come close to that sort of experience. I don't know if you guys had things like that growing up too. It's kind of like the Christmas Story. Basically, when you see that movie and he's there, it was that big of an experience. It was amazing. The mini art next to you sells push-ups. Very cool. Chrissy dolls with that hair that grew and shortened. Now we're on to toys. Thank you, Linda, for moderating. Appreciate you. Holly Farms Restaurants. That's another good one. Sleeping Outside of Tower Records and King of Prussia, PA for Springsteen tickets. Santa for 40. That's awesome. Pulsar, the superhero doll. Dude, I forgot about that toy. I got to look that one up. I remember wanting that, but that you literally unlocked a memory. I completely forgot about that Pulsar toy. Go Bills. G.I. Joe toys. Dude, Jason, back when G.I. Joe was a guy, right? Remember, he was one guy. And a lot of us Gen Xers, if you're middle of the road Gen X, like I am, the 70s version of G.I. Joe, we kind of fell between. The older Gen Xers, born in the 60s, will remember the guy, the Frogman G.I. Joe, the bearded G.I. Joe, the 12-inch, 14-inch, however tall he was, G.I. Joe. But then the younger Gen Xers, those born closer to 1980, remember the cartoon, which was an entire team of G.I. Joes. But those of us in the middle, I was too young for the G.I. Joe with Kung Fu grip, really, and kind of too old for the cartoon. So really didn't hit me as hard. But when I went to the Retro Toy Con in Greenville a few weeks ago, I was shocked at the amount of G.I. Joe toys. Now, that didn't stop me from wanting the aircraft carrier, but definitely never got it. G.I. Joe machine gun, Sears catalog, the giant toy section. Yeah, that was the Wish book, which I didn't realize ended in the 90s. That's been gone for nearly 30 years. Still Sharky or Shakey's in California. I know there's Sharkies in Florida. I don't know if it's the same thing. Paper dolls. My sister-in-law will often remind me that one of her favorite toys was an Amy Carter paper doll. That was a thing. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe action figures. My younger brother was all over those. Kevin Green coming in $5 and asking, do you remember the old Milton Bradley Big Track? Dude, one, if you told me without even mentioning Big Track, what are one of my top 3 favorite toys ever that I got as a kid or didn't get but wanted, the Millennium Falcon would be on the list of things I wanted and never got until I bought it for myself as an adult. Dustin, thank you so much. Coming in $20. Dude, above and beyond. Covers him and 9 others. Gets us to 66. Very close, guys. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. But yeah, Millennium Falcon, I would have killed for. The Big Track, somehow my parents actually made it happen for me. And I loved that thing. And of all the toy cons I've gone to, I've never seen a working Big Track. It had one of these soft touch, kind of like Merlin does, which is why it's hard to find a working Merlin. But like the soft touch sensor was on the Big Track. And I think that's the problem. That's what kept them from aging well. But yeah, I love that. And then if I had to have top 3, And you take the bike out, right? Because our bikes were our favorite toys. We may not think of bikes and big wheel. Ruth, thank you so much. We may not think of bikes and big wheels as toys, but if you take those two out of the equation, probably an Atari 2600 was the other thing I never would have imagined my parents would get me, and they did. The aircraft carrier is ridiculous, but it's too big. Lynn, thank you so much for the stars. Mrs. Beasley doll from the show Family Affair, still have her. That's awesome. Raggedy Ann and Andy, no, 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 no. Love you. Think you're awesome, but no things Raggedy Ann and Andy. That's like a fever dream nightmare waiting to happen. Just the idea of a Raggedy Ann and Andy doll sends me into fits. I don't know why. They scared the hell out of me as a kid. ColecoVision, best and only way to play Donkey Kong. The Atari version of Donkey Kong was trash. ColecoVision was awesome. I also had the Radio Shack walkie-talkies with Morse code button. I think everybody did. I also had a Batman set of walkie-talkies that looked like Batman's head. I remember that being something my brother and I really wanted for Christmas one year, and my dad came through. My parents did what they could. Go Bills, Cubby. My parents really came through, and I think a lot of us that have fond memories of Christmas, it's not necessarily about always getting everything we wanted, because we didn't have the idea of a Christmas list when we were growing up so that our parents could pick something from it if you were lucky. No one I ever knew got everything on the list, or even most things on the list. Very few and far between, but it was just hoping and wishing. And, if you didn't get it for Christmas, then maybe you'd get it for your birthday. But my parents made sure we always had amazing Christmases. Even if we didn't get everything, it was the rule of thumb was you'll get the one big gift. One big gift and then other things along with. Stacy, thank you so much for the stars. My scary toy gift was Teddy Ruxpin. He never scared me. Will, thank you for the stars. 250. Dude, appreciate you. Thank you. You had walkie-talkies. We had 2 empty corn cans and a string between houses. Red Solo Cups worked too. Donkey Kong started Mario Brothers. You're right, they did. Kerplunk game. Have I tried to find that bust of JFK yet? I actually looked it up online. Either way, way, way too big. My mother's wasn't big. Everything I'm finding is legitimate head-sized bust. Hers was tiny. I got to ask her if she even remembers. We'll see. She's coming to visit me in February for the month. So maybe. Am I in Buffalo? I'm not in Buffalo now, Cubby. I visit a couple times a year. I grew up in Western New York, both Rochester and Buffalo area. A UB alumnus. I went to school at University of Buffalo and lived there for about 15 years. Worked for Jim Kelly, worked at his restaurant, did some time interning for the Kelly for Kids Foundation. I worked at Rich Stadium during Bills games, so a major Bills fan. Oh, she remembers. I'm sure she does. Tell Mama Jono we say hi. She usually jumps in on Facebook, but I haven't seen her come in today. Mom, if you're there, say hi. What's going on with Facebook? Tina, thank you so much for the stars. Brenda, thank you so much for the stars. Dukes of Hazzard collector cards. Somebody said Facebook is slowing down. If it is, I apologize. Looks like it's going well on my side. Always available over on YouTube. It's why we do both. Cans of slime. Somebody mentioned Garbage Pail Kids. Got a couple sealed. No idea what's in here. These are 3rd and 5th series. I also had Star Trek Communicator walkie-talkies that kind of looked like this. And I remember wanting them really badly so that we could play Star Trek with them. We never got everything though. So we had these, but then we played our phasers weren't real phasers. They were sticks. So it was always a mix of something really cool and something powered by our imagination. It was never all of everything. I never got my $6 million man action figure until I was an adult. That is a legit $6 million lunchbox. I got one of those as a kid. Tiddlywinks. Dukes are a client? What does that mean? Joan, Dukes are excellent? Not sure I get that one. Chew the gum inside the cards only if I want to go tripping. Do y'all remember books? Of course, I remember Choose My Own Adventure books. Those are some of my favorites. Stephen King books. I started reading at about 12. Most girls I knew read a lot. It was either the Laura Ingalls Wilder Little House on the Prairies or V.C. Andrews. Faruba Princess, great name. I have a Raggedy Ann and Andy music figure. I was mostly raised Gen X. I was born in 1990. Love your videos. I appreciate you so much, dude. You know, I have it's very cool when I see somebody from a different generation enjoying our content, whether they're millennials or Gen Z or even boomers, but they say they relate. I love that because I don't gatekeep our memories. I don't try to be exclusionary and say, you know, it's only Gen X. It's a concept. It's as much a mindset as it is an era. And I'm hoping we can all go back to it. Have I ever solved the Rubik's Cube? Not even close. I can get one side sometimes. I've tried every single algorithm that y'all have sent me. I got to make another video soon. So there's this kid, and I say kid because he's 18. I think I can call him kid. He has about 500,000 followers on Instagram. His name is Alexander, and he's a musical artist, and he does really well. He's from Great Britain, and he's very popular by all accounts, and he follows me. And so I sent him a list of things because he said he's really good at 80s pop culture. So I threw some questions at him, and he's creating his side of the video and get it back to me. But he says he can do the Rubik's Cube and that he can teach me how. I'm not teachable. There's a mental block going on. I can't do it, but he's going to try. Streamers for your bicycle handles. Dude, for me, the bicycle was all about the playing card and the spokes. That was the best ever. I don't know why. Maybe she meant excellent. Yeah, Duke Boys, excellent. That would make sense. Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew books. Also the TV series. $70.99 over on YouTube, guys. 37 minutes in. 23 minutes to make goal. We're doing great. If you've given, that's enough. Don't even worry about it. We don't make it. We don't make it. I don't care. I just mentioned it to mention it because, again, it just behooves the live to do so. Plus, I'm not lying. It'd be nice to get there, but if we don't, I don't care. Anyway, putting cards in the spokes. Yeah, it was how we turned our Schwinn into a Harley. It's how we turned the bike into an actual chopper. I loved that sound. Dukes, yeah, shared with Bestie. Rubexis, dude, Joan, you're on every week, and I love you to death, but I think you're hitting the MD 2020 a little hard today. Hoping you're okay, because I can't make heads or tails out of any of that. Love you nonetheless. Peel the stickers off the cube. I know, Brenda. I get it. I love it. Thank you for the stars. I totally get it. Or you can pop them out with the screwdriver. I don't see the point. Oh, Cluse, no doubt. Good game today. Go Bills. Ernestine, you don't have to donate again, but God bless and thank you so much. Ladybug says GenX Jano is famous now. I don't think so. Although I did have a lot of fun this week. I put out a video, if you haven't seen it, of the top 10 Gen X era TV villains. And a lot of people expected JR would be number one. And I actually went with Nelly. For whatever reason, I just think Nelly was the hardcore villain I grew up with. And Allison, her last name escapes me, but the actress that played Nelly when we were kids actually shared the post. Jim of all trades, thank you so much. Shared the post. And yes, Karen, she shared it and she started following me. So I thought that was really cool. Did you get my email with what society called the car seat? I got your emails from yesterday. I'll be honest, I wasn't feeling great today. Yes, Arngrim. So I was just kind of laying down for most of the day today. But I'll take a look. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see the point of taking the cube apart. If I can do it, I can do it. If I can't, I can't. And I'm okay with that. Dude, Nelly was the worst when even boys could watch Little House on the Prairie and find something to enjoy about it. It was funny. Nelly was savage. Did I ever read her book? I didn't. Jim of all trades says I've met her in person. She's great. I hope to. Going on these convention circuit now, I'm starting to meet a lot of those celebrities, right, that we grew up watching. And I'm really enjoying it. Don't be modest, John. It's easy to be modest. Brandy, thank you so much. Dude, if you remember there's like A-level celebrities and B-level celebrities, I joke and say, if anything, I'm an X level of celebrity. I come way down the line. People say Nancy was more mean than Nelly. The thing about Nelly is she was, so Gen X I don't think of as mean. We find ways to get things done. You cross us, it doesn't end well. The true point of a TV villain is you need to love to hate them, right? And that's what was great about Nelly, the way she was written and played. You love to hate her. Nancy was just pure hate. But Nelly, you would always think maybe she's gonna, there's some redemption there. And in the end of her arc, and there was a little bit of it. But dude, like Bunny was about to become glue, and Nelly was okay with it. And if you don't know, Bunny was a horse, not a bunny. Badly named, but regardless. I don't know. Nancy was worse, but Nelly was better. Nelly was the better villain, if that makes any sense. Mutt says Jono is the definition of a next level celebrity. I know, I like it. Sent you a message on this profile. Have you seen it? Angela, I try. I'll be honest. The downside of having 900,000 followers on Facebook is everybody messages me. And I try really hard to keep up, but I'm just vastly outnumbered. GenX Jono 80 at Gmail. I still get a lot of emails, but at least eventually my OCD is so great that when I see little numbers telling me I have notifications, I try to go down the list as best I can. And I only get about 5% as many emails as I do direct messages. So if y'all send me something as a direct message and I don't respond, it's just that I'm outnumbered. That's all. I'm doing my best, and I apologize. Everybody deserves a reply. I just can't always get there. Email is genxjono80 at gmail.com. I walked into Steven Tyler literally and then pointed at him and said, I know you. That's funny. It actually happened to me at the last convention I was at. I'm walking by this girl, and the next thing I know, she grabs my arm and yanks me back. And it's hilarious. Thank you, Linda. It's hilarious in that she's like, I'm sorry, I can't believe I just did that. I didn't mean to grab you. She's like, it's just like I thought, I know you. I'm like, dude, it's fine. I go, I totally love that you stopped me. That's awesome. Can't remember if Mortal Kombat 80s or come out in the 90s. I think it was in the 80s initially. Thank you. I had a lot of fun with that one. I think it was in the 80s initially. Definitely the arcade game version must have been 80s. Nelly was conniving. Nelly was smart. It's like JR. He wasn't like murder you kind of villain. It wasn't to that level. He was just conniving, and that's what I liked about it. Faruba, I love seeing your trivia lives. What restaurant is that in? So the one I do is just because it's in my hometown, and it's easy. So I do it every week on Tuesday nights. Hickory Tavern in Indian Land, South Carolina. Is it a new Bills hat? Dude, I have so many Bills hats. Everybody, I've even had people send me Bills hats because everybody thinks that because I wear this one a lot, that it's the only one I've got. It's not. It's just my absolute favorite. But I could do this almost all day and not run out. Yeah, no, it's not a new Bills hat. This one's fairly old too. It's just not as old as the one you're used to seeing me wear, which is this one, of course. Excuse me. Yeah, it's not that I don't have other hats. It's like, I don't know, kind of like being Gen X. Just because we're old doesn't mean we should be tossed out. This is my OG hat. This is my original hat. This is my favorite hat. I love the other ones, especially the ones people are, thank you, Doreen, kind enough to send me. I think that's awesome. And I try to wear each and every one in a video from time to time. Thank you, Tracy. Did I ever get the Darth Vader head that holds the action figures? No, I'm looking for it. Thank you, Eric. Because I did have one when I was a kid. I did just buy some new Star Wars action figures so that my Millennium Falcon is no longer empty. So now Luke and Han Solo and Chewie are now living in my Millennium Falcon. Mutt says I wear the same bucket hat almost every day. I just like it. I don't know. Makes me happy. You have the Vader head? Very cool. Hey, Heather, how are you? I mean, thank you. Not how are you. Appreciate it. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you guys. Hey, Gabe, go Bills. Ladybug sending out a gift membership. Thank you. $25 at Spencer's. Yeah, here's the thing. It's kind of silly, but for me, any of this stuff has to be the original. I know it's stupid. I know that it shouldn't make a difference. It's not like I keep them sealed in the box. It's not like anything I buy is for monetary value because there's no way I would keep it in the box. The Merlin was sealed. I took it out of the box immediately. I want to play with it. I want to hold it and see it and enjoy it. So it's not that I want the original vintage because that's the expensive. I just like them better. What's going on, Apple Poisoneer? Good to see you. Every week, Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Yeah, I've looked online too, and that's the other thing. So far, I haven't bought anything online. I like discovering them. What are my thoughts about Murder, She Wrote? My thought is if Jessica Fletcher ever walked into my town, if I ever saw her in person, I'd run like hell. How she wasn't investigated as a serial killer, I'll never quite understand. There's a common denominator between her and a lot of deaths, and that common denominator is her. Anywhere she goes to just visit, B&B, Airbnb, have a good time, vacation. The woman was a serial killer. She was Dexter before Dexter was a thing. And I'm going to turn that into a video now that you mentioned it. I think it's funny. Cagney and Lacey. Yeah, that's you just did a video for me, so thank you. I will be doing it because yeah, I am convinced Jessica Fletcher. Maybe you know how there was Mrs. Voorhees before Jason Voorhees, like the first Friday the 13th was Jason's mother was the killer. I would not be surprised to find out that Jessica Fletcher was Dexter's mother. That's my fan theory, and I'm going with it. I saw an adult big wheel. Now I want it, but the decimal's in the wrong spot. Almost $1,000. That's crazy. If Columbo asks you just a couple more things, you know he's on to you. The Benji movies always made me sad for some reason. Thank you, Ladybugs, for that. Double tap the screen. Hit the like button. Do I remember Movie Hooper? When drinking and driving was all in good fun. I sent you an email and a minibar for the glove box I found at Mom's house. I'll take a look at it. Yeah, the whole drink. Am I hosting the 3 View Mirror this week? I am, Doreen. I would get to that at the end. I will tell you guys, I have a great reveal for this week's 3 View Mirror. If you guys are around tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time, you want to get to my YouTube channel. Spend an hour with me, Chris Clues, GenX Shell. It's going to be a lot of fun. And the reveal, I think, is one that will make you all smile. What about Telly Savalas, Who Loves You Baby, Kojak, Jennifer Aniston's Godfather, Rockford Files, Columbo, Just Say No campaign? Yeah, I was talking about the whole drinking and driving thing. I don't make light of it. I was like a charter member of my school's Students Against Drunk Driving in high school. And ironically, my answer to making sure that friends got home safely after drinking all night is call me when you get home. Here, I'll follow you to make sure you get home okay. Well, that just guarantees there's a witness to the accident. I don't know. We did bad things. We had an entire, you remember the game Centipede, the arcade game Centipede? That's how a lot of us got home after a night at the bars. We were an entire chain of drunk drivers going home, one following the other. Mutt says designated driver volunteer. That's awesome. We didn't do it as much as we should have. Why don't they make good ads anymore? I don't know. Maybe because they don't work. Maybe because people don't see them. Maybe because they fast forward them. I don't know. I loved our old ads. And the things we used to, thank you, Angela, the things we used to advertise still exist, but they don't need to be advertised anymore. I had to do a double check. I think Anacin still exists. And it's funny because I'm at the age now where arthritis might soon become a thing. And that was like what Anacin was for. Travin says if the Scooby Doo gang visited local costume shops at the beginning of every episode, they could save a lot of time. Do something on Charles in Charge, please. I could do that. Sid and Marty Croft, I've met Sid. He follows me on Instagram. He's an amazing person. Got any Sanka? Still exists, no commercials. Anacin still exists, no commercials. Why don't they need the commercials anymore? I don't understand. There was an Anacin commercial. Some old person, looking back, was probably only 40, struggling to open a jar, and they're like, here, you need some Anacin. Ring around the collar. Pretty sure it probably still exists, but no commercials. I don't know why. We don't need to advertise these things anymore, I guess. But I loved the old commercials. Fill it to the rim with brim. Salada tea was another good one. Nest tea plunge, another good one. Stay sober and laugh at them. I was the designated driver and babysitter to my girlfriends. I drank a lot. In my 20s, I drank a lot. Now, I moved to downtown Buffalo, so I walked everywhere we went at that point, so that was cool. Ancient Chinese secret, Calgon, don't mess with Mother Nature. Bill's got lucky, dude. I don't think luck has anything to do with it, to be quite honest. There wasn't luck involved, just like there wasn't bad luck involved in the games we lost that were close. Josh Allen and the defense found a way. Defense had the stops they needed at the end. Josh threw on his cape and said, stop me, and they couldn't. He literally is that good. When I look at the other side, Cincinnati, Burrow, dude, he marched down the field in his final drive in what, 5 plays for a touchdown? It's not luck, it's talent. And they both did a great job. We just found a way at the end. Calgon, the Kool-Aid man, I've got right up there. You can see him on Facebook anyway. There he is up there somewhere. Time to make the donuts. Yeah, I got to make another commercial montage. I enjoy doing those. Big Red Soda, I don't remember that. All right, 8 minutes to go on our goal. We are at 92.97 over on YouTube. Guys, thank you so much. 915 stars over on Facebook. Getting very close to 1,000 stars. I don't think I've ever done that. And just so you know, 1,000 stars does not equal $1,000. I think it's like 10. I don't know. Maybe it's 100. I don't know. Rocky Horror Midnight. Oh, dude, that was the best. I would do that. I did the Midnight Show a couple times. I don't remember Big Red Soda. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz, I remember. Raise your hand if you're sure. Doublemint Twins. Ring around the collar was Whisk. Mr. Whipple, don't squeeze the Charmans. Oh, my Lanta. Best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. You guys can quiz me on any of these, and I know every single one. Jolt Cola, yeah, I remember that. Did you not notice what I was drinking? They sent me a case. Where's the beef? Big Red is still a thing, but not soda. Big Red Soda specifically, I don't remember. Not only do I remember the Twinkies ads, but I remember the Twinkies and the Hostess ads in the comic books. If you were a comic book kid, when aren't I drinking Jolt? I know. Like I said, they gave me like 2 cases. I'll be drinking. I love this stuff. I'm addicted now. You won. You got it. Dad, do you truly hate me this much? Inconceivable. Gee, your hair smells terrific. Vivitar cameras. Dude, I remember Vivitar cameras. Very inexpensive cameras. Vivitar was to cameras what sound design was to stereo systems. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Big Red's one of my favorites too. Clap, clap. This is what we... Clap, clap. This is so what we did, we leave it is. Quiz time. Every time I think I see. I almost sang it, Karen. I couldn't read it without singing it. Every time I think I see, everything I think I see becomes a Tootsie Roll to me. I love that commercial. Your soaking in it was palm olive. So mild it softens hands while you do the dishes. Sing the Big Red commercial, so kiss a little longer. Make it last a little longer. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. Pocket Fisherman. That was Ron Popeil. Makes great Christmas gifts. Who wears short shorts? Nair for short shorts. Give a hoot, don't pollute. That would be Woodsy the Owl. The Doublemint twins, who were Katie Seagal's sister from Married with Children. The Doublemint twins, if you didn't know, were Katie Seagal's sisters. Chia Pets. Oh, I got to see Demolition Man again. That's a good one. Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Tootsie Pop? A 1, 2, 3. But the world may never know. Only you can prevent forest fires. Dude, you guys are the best. Follow your nose, it always knows. Thanks, Matthew Lamb. Gumby and Pokey, close up. I always like toothpaste commercials because the one thing every toothpaste commercial when we were growing up had in common is nobody on the face of the planet in the real world ever put toothpaste on a toothbrush the way they did in the commercials with the little swirl. And it was always so perfect that you would never want to actually ruin it. But every toothpaste, Aquafresh was great at it because that had the different colors. But it was always like a little S. Do twins ever realize that one of them was unplanned? Sure, sometimes both were. They were also the twins on Grease 2. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Knee-high soda, I don't remember. Cool Rider, Grease 2. I've got a headache this big and it's got Excedrin written all over it. What's going on, T-Bone? Did I see the Buffalo Bills game tonight? That beginning to end, my friend. Hey, you guys, Electric Company, also Goonies. I love it when a plan comes together. That would be the A-Team. Marathon bars, I actually like those a lot. Shake and Bake. My mom lived and died by Shake and Bake. We would beg for Shake and Bake, which with a Greek mother, getting something like as American, as traditionally out of a box as Shake and Bake was difficult. It wasn't easy to get a Greek mother to make you Shake and Bake. And when we did, we felt like that was almost a treat for us growing up. I pity the fool. Back to A-Team. Remember Sophia perfume? We were in church and during the Latin, my brother sang out Sophia and made people giggle. TV show Yeehaw. I feel like chicken tonight, feel like chicken tonight. Yep. When E.F. Hutton talks, everybody listens. Budweiser, the frog ad. But I said when Budweiser got themselves in trouble, no matter what you thought of that whole thing with Bud Light, I don't have an opinion on it. And if I did, I wouldn't share it. It's not what I talk about. What I will say is my thought on how they could have gotten out of it would have been just to very quickly start replaying old Budweiser commercials. The Budweiser, the Was Up. Just go back to entertaining people with your ads. Spuds McKenzie, exactly. Just that's what we need to come back. Two great tastes that go great together, Anissa. That would be you got your chocolate and my peanut butter and your chocolate. Chips, the TV show. You go either John or Punch. Never could be both. Da do 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 da da da. No lucky involved, David Clark. Thank you anyway. Like I said, I don't think we were unlucky when we lost. Pardon me, sir. Do you have any Grey Poupon? Taco Bell, yo quiero. Christmas ads were awesome. One of my favorite Christmas ads I put into a compilation. If you haven't seen it, I do a 90-second compilation of Christmas scenes and sounds. And one of them is Norelco Santa, the Santa Claus coming over the snowy hill on the Norelco Razor. That for me is a core Christmas memory. It's crazy. The things that I associate with Christmas, that Norelco ad is one of them. Ron Popeil at the end of his Inside the Egg Scrambler, or Mr. Microphone ad, or the record cleaner ad, or his smokeless ashtray, which only worked if you kept the the cigarette in the ashtray instead of in your hand, so that never worked. But when he says, these make great Christmas gifts, and they play that little music, that is a core Christmas memory for me. Frosty the Snowman saying happy birthday. I'd like to buy the world a Coke. Those ads, the Hershey's Kisses thing, that became part of my Christmas nostalgic memories for sure. All right, so at $92.97, we came very close to goal tonight as we hit the 1 hour mark. Heat Miser, Snow Miser, you saw me have the shirts. Couple of things in house cleaning. Facebook side, guys, if you haven't already, 99 cents a month. Jump over to my main page, click on my name after the live, subscribe to the page. It's literally $1 a month. But what that does is it gives you access to our private Facebook group. You guys can post in there. The thing that I love about the subscription page is I get to read and see the stuff you share, the Christmas pictures, the ideas for videos. If you guys are out there saying, how do I get a hold of you? That page is a great way to share stuff. So jump over to Facebook, click the subscribe button, 99 cents a month, not a day, not a week. It's literally less than $1 a month. Join in. We have some amazing people in that group. I think you'll enjoy it. I think it's well worth $1 a month. Does that $1 a month get you guys a coffee? Sure. Why not? Zekel, thank you so much. And anybody you see on the Facebook side with, like, Zekel has that little badge, that means they're part of it. So, yeah, Ladybug, you're in there. If you guys have a Facebook, it's $1 a month. Join in. It is like a core group of us Gen X Avengers assembling over there. It's a lot of fun. Second thing, if you or a friend want a video, click the storefront on my Facebook page. Reminds me I owe somebody one of these. But go ahead and click it, and I will send you back a video however you want me to make it. If you want me to slam someone on their birthday, roast them to pieces, or give them a little bit of inspiration, a Merry Christmas, whatever it is, that's there. Dude, Brian, thank you so much. That puts us over 102.97. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. That does. That puts us over the 100. Have a beer on me, brother. Rogue, thank you so much. There's Sula. That's my mom, guys. Right there. I knew she was there. Love you, Mom. Sula Kotrides Sullivan. That would be the woman that made me possible. Literally. So, yeah, there's the subscription group. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. 3View Mirror. If you guys haven't seen an episode, get over to my YouTube page. Honestly, you will find it worth your time. We have a lot of fun. We play a game together. We talk about some great nostalgia. 7 p.m. on my YouTube page, 3View Mirror. I'm the host this week. If you've never seen an episode, it's a great way to get started. There's 81 of you here over on YouTube. There's 50 of you or so over on Facebook still. Come on by tomorrow at 7 p.m. I'd appreciate it. And I think you'll have a lot of fun too. Brenda, thank you for the stars. Stacy, I appreciate that. And that's it. Watch it Wednesday morning. Ernestine, you'll have a lot of fun watching it, I think. I have no problem roasting you sometime, Trav, and that sounds like a plan. All right, Mom, I love you. I owe you a call. You can watch it on replay. It'll stay up on YouTube, and that's all I got, guys. I will see those of you tomorrow. Kristen, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Guys, above and beyond, crush the goal tonight. Thank you so much. That means everything to me. Kryptonite, stuck on Band-Aid brand because Band-Aid stuck on me. If you don't remember that commercial, dude, John Travolta. Very cool. 7 p.m. Eastern time, Eric. That's correct. So I will see those of you there. I will absolutely call her, Mutt. Love you guys. You guys are the best. Appreciate you guys. See those of you tomorrow on 3View Mirror at 7 p.m. See the rest of you at 8 p.m. Tuesday night for our Tuesday night trivia. And then I'll be right back here again next week, Sunday night, for another episode of Sunday Night Wonderful World of Generation X. Remember, if you like the shirts and the merch, you got till December 15th to order them to get them home in time for Christmas. Love you guys. No, Mutt, you guys are the best. Appreciate you. Love you. See ya. Peace.